everybody. Welcome to tonight's event. Oh, sorry. Okay, so sorry about that, having a little bit of technical difficulties. Welcome, my name is Lucy. I am one of the facilitators for tonight's event, Middlesex County Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. Just a few housekeeping rules before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type the questions to our presenters at any time. Just be sure to make note of what school you're asking your question to. Your cameras and microphones are off. So as the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many sessions that are happening throughout the course of the spring semester. This is the last session for this evening, but there are plenty more happening throughout the week and in the next coming months. The presentation is being recorded and will be available about a week after at the same website where you registered. I am going to turn it over to the panelists, and just to give you a quick rundown of the upcoming sessions, the upcoming schools for today's event. They are listed here. And without further ado, we are going to get started with Montclair State.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anisha. I'm an admissions counselor at Montclair State University. So today I'm going to do a quick presentation for you guys. All right, let's start with some basic facts. So Montclair State has about 21,000 students total on campus. That might sound like a very large number, but our average class size is 25 students per class. So, you will actually get to know your professor. They're actually going to be able to see you. You won't be like lost in a sea of students in a lecture. We have over 300 different majors, minors, and concentrations for our students to choose from. Our average students come in with a GPA of around a 3.27. We do have around 5,000 students living on campus, and the campus itself is only 12 miles away from New York City. We actually also have 2 transit train stations right on campus. So if you're in and out of the city, it's pretty easy to commute back and forth because the train stations do go right into campus, and there's a bus service nearby as well. So this is our major slide. You can study, like I said, over 300 different types of majors, minors, and concentrations. Our most popular major list is right here. Psychology has always been very popular at Montclair. We also get amazing students wanting to come in and doing education. Computer science is new to this list. It's a really cool major, as well as exercise science, which has gotten really popular over the past few years. If anyone here is not sure about what major they want, or if you're kind of not sure between 3 or 4 different types of majors, I highly recommend going towards undeclared. We have an amazing undeclared program where you can pick a track. For example, say you want to work with kids, but you're not sure if you want to be like a teacher or social worker or a child psychologist. The education, service, and society track would be perfect for you because you can kind of dip your toes in different classes before picking a major. This is better than kind of like going full force into a major and realizing maybe 2 years in, oh, maybe I don't want to major in bio. Then we have combined programs. So there's 39 combined programs. What those are, it's a 5-year program. When in your first 4 years, you get your bachelor's in a specific major, like psychology is one. And then your 5th year, you're getting a master's in psych, which is amazing because you're saving time and money. We also have an amazing 4+1 MBA program, which basically means you can get your bachelor's in one of the majors listed below, and then your 5th year at Montclair, you're getting your MBA, which is great if, say you want to get your bachelor's in like one of the majors listed below, like history. You also want to get your MBA, maybe you want to go into the corporate world or learn more about business. It's really going to help you stand out as a job candidate. Okay, getting involved. With everything going on, of course, activities are limited on campus, but I did want to touch on a few of our activities. We have lots of clubs and organizations. There's Greek life, intramural sports. We are Division III. We also are very big with study abroad. We have a lot of students traveling to all kinds of countries. We're also big with the Disney program. There is residential housing on campus. You can, of course, live on campus or commute, whichever works better for you. And housing is guaranteed for our freshmen. Applying is pretty easy. You can do it one of 2 ways, either through the Common App or you can apply on our website, whichever works best for you. You can apply right out of high school or transferring in. So if you're applying now right out of high school or thinking about applying, it's a simple process. You would need to apply online, then submit your essay. The essay for fall 2021 is actually optional unless you're applying to the nursing program or any of our College of the Arts majors, which do require essays. Then we have the high school transcript, which is of course mandatory, and one letter of recommendation. But if you're going for nursing, it's two. And our SAT, ACT policy stands, we are SAT, ACT optional. So we don't require those scores. The application fee itself is $65. If that fee worries you at all, you can always reach out to me or fill out the waiver information on the app itself. If anyone here is interested in dance, music, theater, keep in mind you are going to have to go through an audition process that's reviewed by faculty. If there's anyone here interested in art, design, or filmmaking, you would need to go through a portfolio review process. If anyone's thinking about transferring, it's a similar process. The main difference is that you also need to submit your college transcripts from whatever college you had gone to before Montclair. So when we get your application, what we pretty much review is, of course, the transcript, but we also like to, read your essay, get to know who you are, why you're interested in Montclair. Students also have the option of uploading a resume, which I highly recommend just because we get to see what you did outside of the classroom, like activities, clubs, sports, any community service, a part-time job. This is an application deadline side. Feel free to screenshot it. Our priority deadline did pass. It was December 1st. Priority deadline, just early action, finding out quicker if you were, admitted to the university or not. Nursing deadlines on here as well. Very strict deadline. If anyone here is interested in nursing, remember to review that for next year. Our scholarship deadline has also passed. I'll delve deeper into that on the next slide. And our big deadline is March 1st. I do also want to mention, try to get your FAFSA in by February 1st. So this is our cost slide. Again, feel free to screenshot it. You'll see our in-state tuition and fees, out-of-state, and room and board. And these are all prices for the full year, so it's annual. Once you do that FAFSA, like I mentioned, you'll get your financial aid package and see what it'll cost particularly for you. We have 2 merit scholarships. The first one is our Presidential Scholars Program. This is for in-state students, so you're a resident of New Jersey. If you receive the scholarship, you would get $5,000 for each year you're at Montclair, so $20K total for 4 years. To be eligible, you need to be, of course, a New Jersey resident, and you need to apply by January 15th. There's no special app, just a regular application. You would need a GPA of a 3.5 or higher, unweighted, and we pretty much score your transcript on academic rigor. Then we have our National Student Scholarship, which is for our out-of-state students. So everyone here is from New Jersey. I'm going to skip right over that. But in case someone did move, let's say, and you're not a New Jersey resident, pretty much if you're out of state, you have a 3.0 GPA and over, you can get a tuition reduction so that you're charged in state rather than out of state. Again, with everything going on, we're not doing a lot of in-person events. I highly recommend checking out our website. If you want to, screenshot this site, you'll see that we have different online webinars going on. So definitely check it out. Lastly, I just have my email over here. So if you want to screenshot this as well, feel free if you want to contact me later on. Other than that, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Great, thanks so much. Okay, up next, we're going to hear from Wagner College.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Gersulo. I'm an admissions counselor at Wagner. And for those who don't know, Wagner is located in Staten Island, New York. So we actually are one of 5 boroughs in New York City. And as an alum of the college, I can honestly say that I lived and loved the Wagner experience. And probably the best thing about Wagner College is that you get a really intimate learning experience while having a lot of the perks that a bigger university would offer. So I'm just going to jump in with some quick facts. Like I mentioned, we're one of 5 boroughs in New York City, but what's nice about Staten Island is it's kind of known as the borough of parks. So there's lots of green spaces on Staten Island and specifically on our beautiful 100-acre campus. And as you walk around, you may not know everyone, but you'll definitely have a lot of familiar faces since we are a smaller school. We have about 1,800 undergraduate students and about 375 graduate students. And within that close-knit community, you will meet lots of different people because we have students from all over the US as well as tons of international students. So of course, it goes without saying that the majority of our students do live on campus. So we're definitely not a suitcase school, and all the life and activity that you see during the week, you'll also see on the weekend. And there's tons of perks of being at a smaller school, and specifically they go into the classroom. So our average class size is about 20 students per class. And with that, you'll get lots of professor attention. Your professors are going to know you, they're going to know your strengths, your weaknesses when you're missing class, and they're really going to help you kind of take your studies to the next level. Since we're a liberal arts school, we have lots of different majors and minors to choose from. Our most popular majors are nursing, health sciences, business, sports administration, education, arts administration, the list goes on and on. And our most competitive programs, meaning there's a separate application process, are our theater performance major and our 5-year accelerated physician assistant program. And this right here is just kind of a bird's eye view of our campus. As you can see, like I said, lots of green spaces, but what's nice about being on a 100-acre campus is that nothing is ever too far from something else. So on a hot day or a cold day, you'll never have a really, really long walk. And I mentioned before that we have lots of activity all 7 days of the week, and that is thanks in large part to our really active campus life. We have more than 70 different clubs and organizations, and they range from lifestyle and recreational clubs to more community service and civic engagement, and then like networking and professional clubs. We are also a Division I school, so that's great if you are an athlete and you're looking to take your sports to the collegiate level. But it's also great if you're not an athlete because it just allows of school spirit and camaraderie, and it really gets you involved in your campus. We also have Greek life. It's only about 12 to 15% of students, but it's nice because it's there for the students who want it, and students who don't want it don't have to have anything to do with it. I was involved in Greek life at Wagner. I had an awesome experience, but I was friends with people who weren't involved. So it's really a win-win for everyone. And of course, I mentioned before, we have a competitive theater performance program. So with that, you have really, really talented performances happening all throughout the year. So you can go check out a play or show on campus for free and support students who usually end up on Broadway or behind the scenes on Broadway. And this right here is just a view from our football stadium, which is right across the street from our main campus. And that right there is the Verrazano Bridge. It connects Staten Island and Brooklyn, so a pretty cool view. And this is where our men's baseball team plays. It's right next to the Staten Island Ferry, and you're looking at a view of Lower Manhattan. It's a little foggy, but there is the Freedom Tower there if you look closely. So definitely not a bad way to spend a spring afternoon for sure. And it kind of takes me to my next point. As you can see, we're so close to Manhattan, and we really do like to say we have the best of both worlds. We give you a really quiet, comfortable campus on Staten Island while having Manhattan right within reach. And we make that connection possible very much with our free shuttle on campus. It runs 7 days a week from like 6 a.m. to about 12:30 a.m. And it'll take you from campus to the Staten Island Ferry. And once you're at the Staten Island Ferry, you're just 25 minutes outside of Manhattan. So it's quick, free, easy access to Manhattan. And it really comes in handy no matter what field you're in and what you're looking to pursue, because you can find that internship or networking opportunity in Manhattan or any of the boroughs. And we have a really great career service on campus that will help you get those desirable internships and make those connections. And they host tons of events throughout the year. And if you're interested in learning about them, you can definitely reach out to me. And of course, tuition and financial aid is a very important part of the college decision-making process. And right now, Wagner's tuition is at about $48,000, and room and board is another $15,000. So sticker price is $63,000, which I know is a very large and scary number, but about 94% of our students are not paying that full price. We offset the cost with different scholarships. We have merit-based scholarships that every student is automatically considered for upon applying. You don't have to do anything extra. As well as, like I mentioned, we're a D1 school, so there is athletic aid, and then we have specialized scholarship like theater and music. We also launched an esports team recently, so if you're a gamer, there might be some scholarship opportunity there. You can definitely inquire about that. And then, of course, if you fill out the FAFSA, you could qualify for financial aid. We were named one of the colleges that create futures by the Princeton Review, and as you can see here, that's something we're very proud of, because no matter what your interest is, whether it's STEM, business, finance, the arts, or nursing, we will definitely help you get there. And here are a couple of different ways you can connect with us. And we actually have our own admissions Instagram. If you follow us and DM the account, mention you were at this event, we will give you a fee waiver code to apply for the fall semester. Thanks so much.
Great, thanks so much. Okay, next up, we are going to hear from Gwynedd Mercy University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daniela Hurtado. I am a senior admissions counselor here at Gwynedd Mercy University. Just to start off with some backstory on the university, we were founded in 1948 by the Sisters of Mercy. So we are a small private Catholic institution, just under 2,000 undergraduate students. I would say just under 1,000 of which actually live on campus. So we do have a good combination of commuter and residential students. We are located on 314 acres of beautiful park-like campus located in Gwynedd Valley, Pennsylvania. Just to kind of give you an idea, we're about 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia, just to kind of give you some proximity. One thing that we pride ourselves on here at Gwynedd Mercy University is our student to faculty ratio, which is an average of 10-1. It facilitates really great learning experience here at Gwynedd because students are able to really get to know their professors as well as create those professional networks with their students and with the students they're learning with as well as their professors. So we have just over 30 undergraduate majors and 15 minors to offer our students. I would say we are most known for our nursing and allied health professions. We have other things like respiratory care, radiation therapy, occupational science, just to name a few. However, we do have other majors to offer students in both the School of Business and Education as well as Arts and Sciences. We do also have something called University Studies, which is similar to Undecided, but we call it University Studies because it's like a pathway program. So if you're undecided upon coming to college, if you're kind of stuck, let's say, between criminal justice and education, you're allowed to take different courses in both the disciplines in order to get your toes wet so that you can have a better idea of what you're getting into. You're not required to declare a major till the end of your sophomore year. However, a lot of students who are in university studies are able to declare their major at the end of their freshman year, first semester and or second semester, just because they're able to kind of see what the university has to offer in different disciplines. In addition to that, we are an NCAA Division III athletics. So we do have 19 different athletic teams to offer. I would say two of our biggest are men's and women's basketball. We do have other intramural sports. So if you're not interested in playing competitively at the collegiate level, we do have intramurals as well. One of the great things about being a smaller institution, if there is a club or activity or intramural that is not already represented on campus, all you would really need is you and 4 of your closest friends, as well as a faculty advisor, and you'd be able to start a club or activity of your own. Just to name a few that we already have on campus, we have things like student government, Griffin Student Leadership Institute. We have various different honor societies, and we also have a world-renowned choir known as the Voices of Gwynedd, which is comprised of students, faculty, and staff members, as well as community members as well. In addition to that, we have other things to offer like alternative spring break, which allows students to go anywhere in the continental US. During that 1 week off, you're off for spring break. Students who have participated in that have said it's a life-changing experience. It really helps open their eyes to how different people, even in our own country, live. With that said, we do have also study abroad to 26 different countries, anywhere as close as South America to as far as Asia and New Zealand. So kind of to give you a little bit more about what I do in the Office of Admissions and to help you in how to apply. So at Gwynedd Mercy, we have something called rolling admissions. Basically, it means one of two things. One, we don't have a hard deadline of when we need your application materials by. And two, once we receive your application, we usually can have a decision for you within 2 weeks. If you're applying to nursing or allied health professions, sometimes it could be anywhere closer to the 3-week mark just because of the volume of applications that we do receive for those majors. So if you are a high school senior, the best time to apply is now. You can find us on the Common App or our in-house application on our website. So whichever works best for you, you can find us either way. But a little bit about what we need from you. So application requirements. So due to COVID, we are test optional this year. So if you have not taken your SAT or ACT scores, there's no worries with that. All we would need from you is your completed application form. So either on the Common App or on our website, your official high school transcript, and then at least one letter of recommendation. Some majors may require more. However, that's just the basics that we need from you in order to begin reviewing your application. In addition to that, I will state that tuition and fees right now. So nursing and allied health professions is just under $37,000. It's $2,000 more than everyone else. Everyone else is just under $35,000. Reason nursing and allied health professions is a little higher is because your lab and clinical fees are built in. So it's nice you don't have to pay those out of pocket. You can pay them back over a period of time, however you decide to finance your college experience. And then room and board is just under $12,000 on a sliding scale, depending on the type of meal plan you choose and the type of housing you select. But one thing I will state, and one thing that we pride ourselves on here at Gwynedd Mercy is 100% of our first-time full-time students do receive a generous amount of financial aid and scholarship. So we have merit scholarships that students are evaluated for at point of accept. It range between $13,000 to $19,000. and they are renewable. So if you're awarded, let's say $17,000, you would get that freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. And one last thing I'd like to mention is that we do have something called Priority Grant. If you file your FAFSA and submit it to us before the priority deadline of March 1st, you will receive an additional $1,000 in your financial aid package. That is all I have for you today. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Great, thank you. Okay, and up next, we're going to hear from Washington College.
Hi, everyone. My name is Susie Friedrich. I'm from Washington College. We are a small liberal arts school on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, about an hour and a half from Philly, DC, Baltimore, about an hour from Annapolis. I used to live in Flemington, if that gives you a little bit of point of reference, and it took me about 2.5 hours to get down here. We are just under 1,300 students with a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Average class size of 13, and we feel like our location, which is right on the Chester River, really aids to our students. We are rural, but you can go over to the big cities and have those experiences with events and internships, but then come back to campus where you are a very vital part of our community. We have over 30 majors and minors. It's very common for our students to either double major or have a major and a minor and a concentration. About 60% of our students do that. So you can do it all. And you can also get involved in our 80+ clubs. We are also D3 for our sports. And we have an extensive study abroad program. We go to 6 continents. We just don't go to Antarctica, but we do have affiliated programs all around the world. We have 5 pillars. I want to focus on 3 for you because we have what we call signature centers. Signature centers are physical buildings on campus with their own staff, and they are a huge part of what we do. We are known as a writers' college. Don't get nervous about that. You don't have to be a great writer coming in, but we'll make you a proficient writer when you leave. And the signature center that I'd like to talk about is the Rose O'Neill Literary House, which is in the photo right here. We bring in famous authors all throughout the year, and it's a wonderful space. There's a working printing press. And we also produce a literary magazine, which our students are the gatekeepers. They read all the submissions, and then they get to decide who goes forward, and they eventually publish the magazine. And we also boast the largest undergraduate literary prize in the nation. It's called the Sophie Kerr Prize. It's open to all students on campus. So if you're a theater major, you could submit a script, but you don't have to be an English major. And the way it works is you submit a portfolio, and the committee will select one winner, and the night before graduation, it's announced, and they're handed a check for $63,000 with no strings attached. So that's a pretty good graduation gift. And just for reference, the Pulitzer Prize is about $10,000. So a nice way to leave school. I next would like to talk about the environmental action, which is up in the top left right-hand corner. Our signature center there is the Center for Environment and Society. We are located right on the Chester River, not far from the Chesapeake Bay, so we are very aware of our surroundings. We have a 5,000-acre river and field campus where there's a bird banding station, and they work with monarch butterflies. And our unique program here is a Chesapeake Bay semester. You spend the first part of the semester on campus and kind of exploring the local watershed. Second part of the semester, you get to go to Belize in a normal year and study their watershed, and then come back and compare the two. When you graduate with whatever degree you have, because it's open to everyone, you also graduate with a concentration in Chesapeake area studies. And the last signature center I'd love to talk about is history. We are the oldest college in Maryland. We are the 10th oldest college in the country. We were founded by George Washington, and we were the first college in the nation to employ female professors. And our signature center here is called the Starr Center for the Study of the American Experience. It draws from history, American studies, communication and media studies, and we pull it all together, and they do these amazing they have amazing internships for our students that are paid, And we also have a summer paid internship program. And we partner up with Smithsonian institutions, the Library of Congress, National Park Service, things like that. So it's really extensive. Some highlights here, top left-hand corner, we always have a crab feast. We're known for our crabs. The picture in the middle on the bottom is our cardboard boat race during Parents Weekend, which is hysterical because it's only cardboard and duct tape. And then the top right-hand corner is our club fair, which again is, we have 80+ clubs and very similar to Gwynedd. If you can't find something you like, grab 10 friends and a faculty advisor and you can start your own club. These are some of our internship programs. Again, on the water right here in the Chesapeake, the top right is our bird banding station. The middle is one of our students who did work for the National Park Service. And the bottom right-hand corner is our Brown Advisory Board. This is a business internship where our students actually invest real money in the stock market. And so far they've grown it to over $1 million. And the bottom left is our Eastern Shore Food Lab, which has become very popular. Our students have access to the water all the time. They can take out kayaks, paddle boards, and we have a nice rowing team and a sailing team. And for us, for applying, it is free. We use the Common App and we have our own application. You can visit campus, we are open, or you could do a virtual tour or a virtual interview, either one, whatever works for you. And in terms of financial aid, if you are a member of the National Honor Society, you automatically get $25,000 towards your merit. And then we can stack on top of that with other departmental scholarships. Just after we read your application, we see all the things that you're involved in, so we can stack on top of that. And then of course your financial aid through your FAFSA form. And we do have Presidential Fellows, which is our honors college, and it's invite only, and it's a very prestigious program with some really nice perks and potential money as well. And then we did have remote graduation last year. It was a bummer, but we made the best of it. And hopefully we have students back on campus right now. So hopefully we'll get through the spring and have a great end to the year. Thank you so much. And I look forward to answering any of your questions.
Great, thank you. And then finally for this evening, we have Pace University.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining to learn about all of these colleges. My name is Morgan. I'm your admission counselor for Pace University. Jumping right in, Pace was founded in 1906 by two brothers helping their friends pass accounting tests. Fast forward 100 years, we are a private liberal arts college based in and around New York. So our original site is right in the middle of Manhattan, next to the Brooklyn Bridge. That campus has around 4,000 students. And then we have a second campus just north of New York City. It's smaller in terms of students, so only 2,000 students, but bigger space-wise. So it's 200 acres and a lot more traditional than our New York City campus. There's over 100 different clubs, organizations to choose from, over 100 different majors to choose from. And we have one of the largest internship placement programs in the New York City area. So a couple of facts. First, our average class size at Pace is 20 students for every professor. Every class is taught by a professor, so we don't use teaching assistants or graduate assistants. And in 90% of cases, they have either a PhD or the highest degree in their field. So you're being taught by experts in the subjects that you want to learn in. You can see on the screen, we have our undergraduate schools. This is how we organize all of our majors. Very quickly going through them, College of Health Professions has two majors, health science and nursing. Our Dyson College of Arts and Sciences is the home of our social sciences like psychology, our humanities like English, our physical sciences like biology or chemistry, and it's also the home of our performing arts programs and a whole range of other majors. We do have a School of Law. It is based in White Plains, New York, so it's not technically one of our undergraduate schools, but we do have it in there in case you are thinking about law school. Next, our Lubin School of Business. We were started as a business school, so still very special to us. We're part of 3% of schools worldwide accredited for accounting and for business. Our School of Education has 3 majors that cover pre-K all the way up through 12th grade. And then lastly, the Seidenberg School of Computer Science and Information Systems is exactly what it says on the tin. When you're applying to PACE, you don't need to remember the names of any of these schools, just the major that you want to study. This will automatically be added to your application. You can find the full list of our majors on our website at pace.edu/majors. And most of our majors are available on both campuses. Some are campus specific though. So you'll see on the website, it'll tell you which campuses the majors are available on. So I mentioned internships at the start. That is something that PACE is very well known for. Internships, real world experience, getting you out of the classroom. On average, a PACE student leaves having done 4 to 5 internships during their time with us. Just last year, Career Services placed 8,000 different practicums, co-ops, internships, and full-time jobs. They're available to you from day one, so they have a required resume building workshop. After that's done, you can go to them for career one-on-one counseling. You'll have access to their job database, on-campus jobs, internships, all of that. And it's a service you'll have for the rest of your life. So you can be 50 years old, changing careers, need somebody to look over your resume. They're available to you for one-on-one sessions, as well as all of their workshops will be available to you as well. So we have the 2 campuses. I'm going to quickly go into both of them so you know what they're like, because they are different. Our original site is right in the middle of New York, in the financial district next to the Brooklyn Bridge. It really is built into the city. So once you leave one of our buildings, you're in the middle of New York. It's energetic. There's a lot of hustle and bustle. So I always say this campus is really perfect for students who thrive on that energy, who want to be in the middle of where it's all happening. Having said that, our campus is all within 5 blocks. So very easy to walk around. I Google Maps it once, 7-minute walk from the furthest point of campus to the other. So never have to rely on the subway to get you from class to class or anything like that. But then we are right next to Fulton Street Station and the Path, so very easy to get to other places in New York, as well as other places outside of New York too. This campus recently went through a renovation. All of these photos are old, pre-COVID, but this is just a couple of photos of what some of our new student spaces look like. So this is a mix of study rooms, meeting rooms, spaces for our clubs, organizations to be, basically spaces to just be on campus outside of the library or the cafeteria. And then our Westchester campus. So it's about 30 minutes north of New York City in a little town called Pleasantville. I mentioned that it's 200 acres. It's also state-of-the-art, just went through a renovation. It's the home of our Division II sports. So if you did want to be a student athlete, or if that is something that's important to you, this is the campus for you. There is a shuttle bus that goes back and forth between the 2 campuses every day. So if you did attend one campus and you wanted to get into the city or out of the city for the day, take a few classes on the opposite campus, that is an option. Our Pleasantville campus is also very close to a train station as well. So it's about 30 minutes to get right into the middle of Manhattan. The shuttle bus between the 2 campuses normally takes somewhere between 40 minutes and an hour. So I mentioned student life and clubs, organizations. At PACE, you'll have over 150 to choose from. They're all listed on the website. You can see some of the categories that they fall into up on your screen. I will add to this, we do have intramural and club sports available, and there is Greek life on both campuses too. On the website, you'll also find the contact information for the leaders or the presidents of each club and organization. I recommend send them an email if you want to learn more about what it's about. It's a great way to see what communities might be on campus before you make a decision about PACE. So the next few slides are about the application and things related to it. I mentioned at the start, we are a private college, which means that we don't really have set in-state and out-of-state tuition. It is very individual to each person, what you end up paying to attend PACE. That's why I'm going to direct you to the website that you can see on the screen. That's pace.edu/calculator. So on there, you're going to find 2 tools. The first being our Merit Scholarship Estimator. Every student who applies to PACE is offered a merit scholarship somewhere between $12,000 and $29,000. So you can go there, put in your grades. It'll give you an estimate of what that scholarship would be for you. The other tool allows you to also put in financial details, and it'll give you an overall view of how much PACE might cost for you. The application's available in 2 places, on our website, on the Common App. It's the exact same in both. PACE is test optional, so if you want to provide us with test scores, that's great. If you don't, we don't need them. We feel comfortable and confident that we can make a decision without them. If you did have questions, this is my contact information. Feel free to send me an email. I'm happy to connect, have a Zoom conversation, or just answer your questions through email. But thank you so much. And yeah.
Great, thank you. Thanks, everybody. So we do still have a little bit of time in our session. So I just wanted to pose a question to our panelists. And the question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? So we can just start in the same order that you went through for your presentation. So we'll start with Montclair and go from there.
So one of my favorite events on campus was open house. I just liked meeting all the students, back in the day when we could do it in person, and like families. And a great tradition we have on campus is our first week of classes. We have Red Hawk Frenzy. It's so fun. There's like all these club tables out. There's little tents everywhere. So if you get lost, like you can get directions. Our mascots running around. So it's a really like fun first week.
Awesome. Next, Wagner College.
My favorite event would have to be Wagner Stock. It usually takes place in the spring, and it's right before finals. So it's like a big stress reliever. It's on the oval outside, and there's food trucks and vendors, and usually a bouncy house. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great stress reliever, and it all leads up to a big event at the end of the night, which is a big concert. So of course, this year it'll probably be a little more COVID friendly, but there's talks of a movie night under the football stadium lights and things like that. So there'll still be all the fun, but it's just a little different.
Great. Gwynedd Mercy, sorry. So you
I
saying
I would have to say Griffin Madness. So it's basically just one big pep rally in preparation for our men's and women's basketball season, which, like I said, is our biggest sports on campus. It's, like I said, basically a big pep rally, except students, faculty, and staff members all get in on the fun. There's a faculty against student basketball game. There's great food, wing eating contest, cheerleaders perform, dance team performs, Voices of Gwynedd perform. So it's just really a fun night of school spirit.
I can attest to that. I'm a graduate of Gwynedd and I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. Next up is Washington College.
We celebrate George Washington's birthday with what we call birthday ball. It happens right in February around his birthday, and it is a prom on steroids basically, but it's a dance. Everybody gets dressed up. It's pretty formal. And the really cool thing is that faculty and staff go, alumni come back. They have great food, live music. There's always a theme and usually some lasers and things, but it's a really great time, and it's something that kind of the whole Washington College community gets into. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. And finally, PACE.
Yeah, my favorite one is midnight breakfast. So once a semester on both campuses, they do at midnight. Everybody goes to, I mean, not at the moment, but everybody goes to the dining halls and have midnight breakfast. So basically breakfast all together. There's a lot of music. The president and the provost typically show up as well. So just like a fun way to put a fun twist on breakfast food, having it all together at a random hour of the night.
Awesome. So if any attendees have any final questions for any of the colleges here, please feel free to use the chat. Also, panelists, if you want to jot your contact information in the chat as well so that the attendees can have access to that. And then I'm just going to share my screen one final time for tonight. And just to say thank you for joining us tonight. I also, when I end the session, you will be directed to a link to take a quick survey. We'd appreciate your feedback. And then also there are so many other sessions coming up, not tonight because this is the last one for this evening, but there are tons more coming up throughout the rest of the spring. So if there's other schools that you wanted to get to, hopefully you can find them. And then in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as other sessions that have happened today. So for example, maybe there was like your 5 top schools and they were all presenting at the same time tonight and you only went to one, you'll be able to see the rest of them from there. So with that, I thank you. Have a great evening. Good luck with your applications, those reading and those completing. And thanks again. Have a great evening. Bye.